Welcome back to another episode of Georgia Forages, the digital series. My name is Dr. Lisa Baxter, and I'm your University of Georgia State Forage Extension Specialist. We are continuing our theme again of the cost of cutting corners this week by considering the economic benefit of a potassium application in Bermuda grass systems. Again, let me say, I am not an economist, and any calculation presented in these videos are what many of us would call a back-of-the-envelope calculation. All numbers are based on University of Georgia Extension recommendations. Bermuda grass is a heavy user of fertilizer, especially our newer hybrids. On average, a hayfield that produces 6 tons of hay each year will remove 300 pounds of nitrogen, 84 pounds of phosphorus, and 252 pounds of potassium annually. The more productive the hayfield, the more fertilization it will require to maintain that adequate level of fertility. We tend to fixate on nitrogen, but potassium is just as important to Bermuda grass hayfields. Potassium is an essential nutrient for high yields, stand density, and winter hardiness. Many Bermuda grass stands will slowly decline over time, allowing weeds to encroach and further reduce the value of the stand. In most situations, soil reports from these fields reveal low levels of soil potassium. Bermuda grass uses large quantities of potassium, which is then removed when the grass is harvested for hay. High rates of nitrogen stimulate forage growth and can increase hay yields. But when high nitrogen rates are coupled with low rates of potassium fertilization, we further exacerbate the issue of potassium deficiency. Potassium requirements depend on the soil test level and nitrogen fertilization rate. Bermuda grass requires at least a 4:1:3 ratio of nitrogen to phosphorus to potassium for optimum production. Recent research in Tifton, Georgia, specific to Tifton 85 Bermuda grass, does suggest that a 3:1:4 ratio would be better for Tifton 85 when managed at a low level of infertility, or 4:1:5 when managed at a high level. For our example today, we will stick with the 4:1:3 ratio, an assumption that the soil will test low in potassium. We will also use a hayfield for our example, although we would see similar trends in pastures. If we apply 200 pounds of nitrogen per acre per year, we will need to apply 150 pounds of potassium annually to maintain this ratio. Potassium is currently averaging around $337 per ton, or 17 cents per pound. So for 150 pounds of potassium per year, we would be looking at a total cost of $25.28 per acre. Likewise, if we applied 300 pounds of nitrogen per acre per year, we would need 225 pounds of potassium per acre per year, for a total cost of $37.91 per acre. Finally, if we applied 400 pounds of nitrogen per acre per year, the maximum we recommend for even hybrid Bermuda grasses, we would need 300 pounds of potassium per acre per year for a cost of $50.55 per acre. An application cost and labor expenses can vary by producer and part of the state, so be sure to include those costs in your calculations if applicable to your situation. This may seem like a lot, especially at a time when we're trying to cut costs, but let's consider the alternative. If the stand starts to decline and reaches a point in 3 to 4 years that we have to consider renovation, we would be looking at least $400 per acre when you consider all renovation costs, including land prep, sprigs, and herbicides. This does not include the delay in harvesting or grazing because of establishment time. So even if we're applying 300 pounds of potassium per acre per year for 4 years, we would only be spending $202.20, or roughly half of the anticipated expense of resprigging by comparison. So spending a little money now can really save us much more down the road. For more information on forage management and fertilizer recommendations, please visit our website and check out our other videos on our Facebook page and YouTube channel.